Welcome to the first Monday of the 6th month of the year. This is Joy News Interactive with me, Mapisa Sibidi. You can watch us on DSTV channel 421 and Go TV channel 144. But you can join the interactive train on Facebook and Twitter. We're Joy News on TV. I'm sure by now reality has set in after you heard the news about a 10% increase in transport prices. Now, this was announced on Friday by the Ghana Private Road Transport Union. But before we do that, let's take our Monday motivation for this week.
I'm particularly proud and happy about the young filmmakers, actors, singers, writers, producers that are coming up behind my generation. In particular, Barry Jenkins. Young people understand this young man made 10, 15, 20 short films before he got the opportunity to make Moonlight. So never give up. Without commitment, you'll never start. But more importantly, without consistency, you'll never finish. It's not easy. If it was easy, there'd be no Kerry Washington. If it was easy, there'd be no Taraji Henson, P. Henson. If it were easy, there'd be no Octavia Spencer. But not only that, if it were easy, there'd be no Viola Davis. If it were easy, there'd be no Michael T. Williamson, no Stephen McKinley Henderson, no Russell Hornsby. If it were easy, there'd be no Denzel Washington. So keep working, keep striving, never give up, fall down 7 times, get up 8. Ease is a greater threat to progress than hardship. Ease is a greater threat to progress than hardship. So keep moving, keep growing, keep learning. See you at work.
Now, that was our Monday motivation of the week from Denzel Washington. So, fall down 7 times and get up 8 times. So, as I was saying, that I'm sure by now reality has set in after you heard about a 10% increase in transport fares. Now, the union says this is necessary to accommodate the rising fuel prices as well as other administrative costs in providing service. So, now you've been reacting to this on Facebook and Twitter. So, let's start with Twitter and see what you guys have been saying about this. Let's see, for those who take Uber, has Uber increased? Those who take Trotro, it has increased? How are you feeling about this? So let's go to Twitter and see what you guys have been saying. Now, at Ebekuli Light says, transport fares up 10% on Monday means you'll witness a lot more Trotsky fights on Monday. You were all for change, but it's not looking like change, and you're all quiet because you think you look stupid criticizing who you voted for. Or Ibi Mahama still. So that's from AB. That's his tweet and that's his opinion. But at Issa Dean says, such astronomical increase in transport fares causing commotion in Trotskys. One wonders what reasonable benefits the masses have relished in spite of our oil fields. So people are really not happy about this. I mean, transport fares going up by 10%. At Coffee_Flock, he says, transport fares have increased by 10%. Don't let any driver fool you into paying more than that. If the transport used to be 1 CD, you'll pay 1 CD 10 pesos. If it's 2 CDs, then you'll pay 2.2, and if it charges you 250 Ghana cedis, then you don't pay. All right, so he's giving us, some maths there. Kofi's giving us some maths there to be like, don't get cheated. This is how it's going to work. But at Nia Shaiti says, transport fares up by 10%. So in the estimation of chief conductor of Census Wheels, 2.50 pesos, 2 Ghana cedis and 50 pesos is now 3 cedis. Either pay or step down and argue. So from 250 to now 3 Ghana cedis. So either pay or step down and argue. All right, so that's from me. And at Success says, transport fares up on Monday, $2 day rise like Lazarus. Your mentions will be dirty in the upcoming week at, so now he's tweeting at the Vice President Bawumia. And at baddest_PMF says, hashtag, this is Ghana, where transport fares go up every year, but we still can't stretch our legs in Troskis. Okay. Oh, wow. That's very interesting. Hashtag, this is Ghana. We're still waiting for a video from whoever is willing to give us that video. And at IM Yusuf says, transport fares are up today. Good morning at Bawumia. So this was to Vice President Bawumia to be like, transport fares are up today. Good morning. Okay, so let's go to Nana, who says, I wanted to share some opinions on the fuel price increment to transport fares, but I have to stop and listen to what the experts say. The experts. And at Max, he says, Ghana, they be. Hey, the cars have started already. Increase in transport fares. Hashtag Trotro Diaries. And at Nakomp says, we're told by those in government that transport fares will be reduced if they're given the nod. Now, they're in power and they've increased it by 10%. Mind games or lies? So that's the question he's asking. Are these mind games or lies? Now, 10% is a lot. It's a lot. I mean, from 1 Ghana cedis to 1 Ghana cedis and 10 pesos. But let's go to Facebook and hear what you guys have been saying. Are you guys happy? Are you guys okay with it? Can you guys handle it? Can you cope with it? So let's go to Facebook. But at Ochiaman Ba says, they are not serious. When fuel goes down, they don't reduce, they fares. Okay. So that means the fares are going to stay the same, even though the fuel prices go down. But at Jamal Abdul says, Nana, reduce it for us, we beg. And that comment had 2 replies. But at Nana Foxtrot says, so is the president aware of this unbearable Ghanaians are going through? All right. Or are we waiting till election time before he rushes in to do things to please the Ghanaians? So that's at Nana Foxtrot. But Yusuf says, are we safe in this country after promising us during campaign that they will reduce fares and fuels? So are we safe? And Echo Dadzi Evidence says, now that fuel prices and lorry fares have been increased, I think it's good to revise ourselves. So, okay, so he's just giving us some figures for revision. So he says Nana Akufo-Addo represents 53.8% of the Ghanaians, and John Mahama represents 44.4%. So some revision for you who have forgotten there. And Valanya Katia says, I'm even shocked. I rest my case. So Valanya Katia doesn't even have words. He just says, you know what, he's shocked. But Samuel says, Dr. Liar has gone into hiding. Ha 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 ha. Fraudulent liars. So that's according to Samuel. And Toko Jacob says, a government that increases fuel prices every month, is that one to a listening government? A government that increases fuel prices, is that one to a listening government? But William says, this is Africa. Whatever you do, even unemployed will survive. Keep increasing, it will survive. And that's what humans do. They survive. And Muhammad says, I don't know how they make a profit. Are operators subsidized through tax incentives? So that's the question that Muhammad is asking us. And Haji Abdul says, this is the government who said he's thinking about Ghanaians. So this is the government who said he's thinking about the Ghanaians, but they're coming to increase the fuel and fare prices. So let me take the last comment there. Kweku Asamoah says, I think it has been managed well. So that's according to Kweku. He says he thinks it's been managed well. Remember, you can join the interactive train on Facebook and Twitter. We are Joy News on TV. But let's move on to and talk about the unending Kelny-GVG debate. Now, a pressure group, Occupy Ghana, has added its voice to the ongoing public debate about the controversial $89 million Kelny-GVG contract. Now, the group is raising 3 key concerns. It says border on the legality of the contract, which government must accede to in order to prevent any court action and resolving the key issues raised. So we posted this on Facebook and we want to know what are your thoughts. So we're going to pick some of your thoughts on Facebook, and let's start with Valanya Katia, who says, yes, it is a good call, and I wish the Minister of Communication better abrogates the contract and get all pressure groups on board for a better explanation. Ghanaians believe that NPP is very transparent. And at Musa Mubarak says, Imani Africa should be given the responsibilities to manage what Kelni GVG is contracted to do. I think they have the skills and the men. Nanaya says, listening to Honorable Ursula Akufo on this issue, I think it is a clean deal. Let it rain. Ray Masterflex says, I watched the Minister Ursula Owusu speak boldly on TV explaining the deal, and she's ever ready to explain on any platform. I feel the deal is clean, but who knows? Now, the 2018 Basic Education Certificate exams has started across the country. So I'm asking you, how long has it been since you wrote yours, and what was your first paper? So on Twitter, it's been trending. It's been the #1 trend here in Ghana. So we're going to take some of your tweets. You guys have been speaking about it. You're going to sing like it's been 20 years, it's been 15 years for me. Someone's saying that I don't even remember the first paper I wrote. But let's go to Twitter and see what you guys are saying. So, I mean, this is at Christ the King, who says, BEC students right now. And he puts that awesome picture that went viral. Christ the King, that's what he said. But at Esther says, so my mom bought my little brother writing BEC today, MOGPA pen and a handkerchief. I'm wondering if he's going to put the answers in his head. Chale, if you don't know, you don't know. God will help you if you are prepared. Exactly. If you don't know, you don't know. God will help you if you are prepared. And at Khan says, the eve of my BEC, I had 3 close classmates. Our families met to pray into our exams, and indeed, God answered our cries and we excelled. Well, it also helps if you study. You know, God helps those who help themselves. But at Kimli Kisia says, Form 3 GHS, and you are on Twitter early morning like this. What happened to Facebook? Good luck as you start your BEC today. And at IM_Movement says, for the first time in Ghana, students will be writing BEC before choosing their schools. What's happening to my Ghana? And he just tweets some other people and he says, can we please get some explanations? So for the first time in Ghana, students will be writing BEC before choosing their schools. What's happening to my Ghana? And that's what he's asking. But at Portia, Arthur says, I decided to fast for my junior brother writing BEC. When I sat in the trot row, someone bought meat pie, another bought fan milk, cocoa tea, and I eventually had to buy a drink cup pie. Temptations everywhere. And at Abuasua says, BEC has started. I know by now some MP has started distributing math sets. After that, he will go and sleep doing nothing for the constituency. And at Nepal's 5 says, those of you where they wish the BEC students luck for here. You think say them they're online, Nana? Okay, so those who are wishing the BEC students luck here on Twitter, do you think they're online or what? And at RG_Crab says, please don't forget your pens when going to church tomorrow, my BEC candidates. Anointing pen. Hey, okay. And at Kojo says, I remember writing the AIS entrance exam, and right after the math paper, I told my mom I'd stick to the schools I chose when writing BEC. I don't even check my AIS results because I knew it'd go over me. So let's take some of your comments on Facebook. How long has it been since you wrote your BEC, and what was the first paper you wrote? We posted that on our Facebook page. It is Drawing User on TV, so keep those comments coming. Let's see with Nana Go Large, who says about 15 years ago, and it was RME and English language. So about 15 years ago, that's when Nana Go Large first wrote his BEC. But Atanga Stefan says 16 years, and my first paper was English language and RME. But let's go to Stelina, who says 9 years ago, and my first paper was English. That's Stelina. And Michael Thomas says 10 years ago, I wrote English and RME as my first paper. So it seems like English and RME were very, that was the first paper that everyone wrote, English and RME. So some say 10 years, 15 years, 16 years, that's quite a long. But Kofi says 8 years ago, and he can't recall the first paper he wrote. Valania Katia says social studies and English language, but he doesn't tell us when he wrote it, but it's okay. Social studies and English language. Yao Asari says 2003, English and social studies. So maybe Yao Asari and Valania Katia are classmates, or were classmates, and Valania Katia wrote his paper in 2003 because he also started with English and social studies. But Kojo Nyako says 4 years, English and RME. And Martinez Ta says, hey, time is no more important in every human life. Just some time ago, I was like them. Thank God. 16 years today, I wrote English and religious. Wishing you all 2002 batch best of luck in their life. Okay, so sending a shout out to all her classmates there. And Nana says it's been 15 years now, and English was the first paper. The pressure got lost after the English paper. And Emmanuel says 8 years ago, and it was English language and RME. But my problem is they should make all examination centers environmentally friendly to our dear brothers and sisters who are physically challenged. Thank you. That's a very good point to make, that everyone must have access to the centers where they write their BEC. But Nanaya says in 2001, an invigilator came for general science papers some few minutes before time because he claimed we were talking. He says he can't forget that day. Imagine if you are not done and they come take your paper. And before we take a breather, so now the Member of Parliament for Effutu constituency has said it is time the methodology of undercover investigative journalist Anas Arimayao Anas is subjected to a legal test. Now, Alexandra Makin believes this will clear the air regarding the much criticized methodology Anas employs in his journalistic practice. Now, arguing his case of invasion of privacy by the journalist, he told Samson Ladi on Joy FM Multi TV's Newsfile program on Saturday that there's a breach of privacy in how Anas does his work. So I want to know, do you agree? Do you not? But let's take some of your comments on Facebook. Let's go to Kwame, who says, NPP, you boasted that you are not corrupt. Over the years, your party was in opposition. You constantly praised Anas for his work. But now you guys are fighting him just because he has exposed you people and your corrupt dealings. I am sorry for Ghana. And that comment got 3 replies. Kwame's comment got 3 replies. But let's go to Prince Obeng, who says, you are right. If a person is not corrupt, how can that person rise against the good work of Anas Arimayao Anas? Mister, I side with you. And Prince got 2 replies. So Jonathan Appiah wrote a short essay there, but he says, change our methodology by legal scrutiny. You need not worry about that. If you don't also have skeletons in your cupboard. And you, as a parliamentarian, are aware. By the way, I'm yet to hear any complaints by those international clients of ANAS, and rid it of our intent officials like you, Fenyo Makans, and your entire government. You are corrupt people. So to read Jonathan Apia's comment, go to our Facebook page, Wajo News on TV. But Francis says the president even lamented that he will use ANAS's principles to curb the canker called corruption. And now we have different voices coming from the incumbent president members to verify the method used by ANAS. Why, Ghana? The end will justify the means. Kwesi Owusu Asante Boateng says this shows how corrupt we are on some issues. We will want to make this country worse. Either we stop, or I know there are millions more of ANAS wherever he came from. And at Nana Essie says, they're running everywhere, but there's no place for them to hide. The coming of ANAS is the beginning of running stomach for the political thieves. And Christopher Nathan says, you knew of this long time and did not say anything about it. Now that the presidency has mentioned you are advocating something should be done. God is watching. He always is. And we thank him for that. But Rose Yabwa says, for all you know, I like this man to me. He speaks with humility. He doesn't mean any harm. Let's be careful, not this time alone, but all the time. And Anya just says, I'm just waiting for him, for ANAS to give him some amount of money and video me. And at Levy Walk says, a few criminals and thieves in government should not define what undercover journalism is for us. Okay. So we're going to take a quick breather. When we come back, we're talking the Nigeria kit. You don't want to miss it. Welcome back. You're still watching Joy News Interactive with me, Mabisa CBD. So Nigeria's jersey for the 2018 World Cup have been released, and it's raked in some money. I mean, if you saw it, it is amazing. It looks awesome. It is on fire on Twitter. It was trending on Twitter. So let's check out some of your tweets on that. So as you can see on your screens now, here Wembley shut down. Some Nigerians are wearing the kit. I mean, it looks amazing. The colors are just awesome. You can wear it to like it. I fell in love with it. So I fell in love with it. So this is at Apex Steph, who says Wembley shut down. Hashtag Niger. Hashtag Nigeria. Hashtag Nike. Hashtag my beautiful people. So let's go to the next tweet there. So at Dan Kerr says Lamont. This is Nigeria. Okay, so because he couldn't get it, maybe because he couldn't get it, he decided to draw the Nigeria kids, you know. I mean, if you can't beat them, just join them and do your own thing. All right, so my Niger people, with the hell, you guys. Now, who brand this KK with Nigeria jersey? This is very creative. So now this is at the Borstos, who says, so the friend is asking, do you have a Nigeria jersey yet? And the friend is like, yes. And the friend's like, oh, can I see? Send me a picture. So this is the picture he sends. Wow. So like I said, if you can't beat them, join them in your own way. So fans have gone crazy for Nigeria's World Cup kit. Over 3 million pre-orders were placed. I'm very sad that I'm not counted among the 3 million. I would have loved to have that jersey just for the just. But as you can see, here's some nice pictures. WizKid is there with the Nigeria kit. Very, very lovely with the green representing. As you can see, Nigerians here, hey, they force. No, they did a good job here. They really did a good job. So let's take our last tweet there. All right, so word is that a lot of Nigerians didn't get to buy the Nigerian World Cup kit. So our suggestion for at Nike is adding a Niger identity prerequisite question before purchase. So for example, what is shaku shaku? Or a delicious drink, a city in Imo State? Is it a dance? Or D, is it all of the above? So what is shaku shaku? And I'm going to go with C because it is a dance. So I think I should get my jersey or not. It's been a wonderful Monday edition of Joy News Interactive with me, Mapiti Sibidi. Remember that Interactive doesn't stay here. We take it to Facebook and Twitter on Joy News on TV. Have a blessed day.